And here's a fun lesson on 3D sections and plans. A lot of people don't know you can do this in Revit. So what we're going to do is we're going to create some new 3D plans based on the default 3D view. We'll duplicate them and then we'll apply plan views and sections, etc. To those 3D views, and the effect will be really neat. It'll have a 3D sectional box. So watch, we're going to right click on this 3D view and say duplicate, just a regular duplicate. Okay, and it's going to create a copy. And let's make another one. Duplicate, duplicate. So this one I'm going to call, rename this, and I'll call it 3D main floor. This is great for structural, for anything. This is really neat stuff. So we'll rename this one 3D stairs. Okay, so if you open them up, double click, they're just like the original view. So what you're going to do once you're inside of here is you go over here to your view cube, and right on the side there's a sneaky little button here, context menu. If you click on there and then you slide down, you can say orient view to, and then there's another flyout, and you can say floor plan, and then you can say to the main floor, and watch what happens. Click. Creates a 3D view of your first floor plan. So this is a really good way of seeing where your view range is, okay, in a sense, although it does cut it higher than what your cut plane is, but that's basically a 3D view of your first floor. So once you have that, you can click on this section box and then you can pull this up and down, and it's kind of tricky. Sometimes you have to use your tab button. While you're inside of here, it's good to turn certain categories on and off. So I might pick on this topo surface and say hide the category. Then I'm going to see a little bit more, and then maybe I'll just pull this right down to see the foundation. Okay, or maybe I want to see right in the floor system or right down to where the beams are. Okay, and we are going to have a follow-up lesson where we'll frame this, but if I can just catch it, there you go. Okay, so you can take this and put it on a sheet. You can also go up here and say annotate, or annotate, and you can put a spot elevation, and you can actually, you know, put elevations on here and, you know, say what elevation this is at, -5'6", stuff like that, underside of beam. Okay, I wouldn't do top of beam because it's probably being clipped, but what I would do is kind of make sure and kind of pull this up a bit. So yeah, it'd be kind of tricky doing that. I think that is the top of the beam. So you could go in and we'll soon find out. Watch. Annotate. Let's take our spot elevation, add it to the quick access toolbar and say top of beam, spot elevation. It's not finding it, so it probably is being clipped. But anyway, it's a good, yeah, and I'm glad it won't actually do that. But if you wanted to do the floor system, etc., and there is other ways to achieve this. So that's kind of a plan view. You can take that again, and you can grab this guy and you can pull this back and forth. You can do whatever you want. You can take it and pull it up. Right? Started with the first floor plan. You can turn it into whatever you want. Sometimes you have a hard time getting these grips. You have to use your tab button to find it. But if you're careful, you have to pick the edge. Then you have to wait for it to say control on your tooltip on your status bar. Okay, so let's go to our next one. Oh, that was supposed to be the stair one. Wrong one. So what do I do here? How do I get rid of this or clear it? What you do is you go over here and you turn the section box off in the view, and it just becomes a regular 3D view again. Now I will actually do it the way it was supposed to be and orient the view to a section. Oh, I need a section first. Let's go to my main floor. Okay, let's do a little section here. I'll grab my section tool, and where will I put it? Let's put it right here, and then let's pull that clip plane back to here. Right, so that's going to be the box. So then we go to my 3D view, stairs, and to my view cube, little flyout button, orient view to section. That is probably section 6, and it kind of reorients it, and then shift middle mouse button. All of a sudden there's your 3D view, And sometimes this is good for working out details and stuff, and you can work on the objects when you're doing this. You can click on this and change its properties or do whatever you want. You can move it up or down or do stuff like that. So sometimes it's easier to work on things when you're in a 3D view. And then if you want to get rid of it, click in here, get rid of the section box. It's back to the original 3D view, and you can kind of treat it accordingly. Then these views, of course, can be placed onto sheets, which is pretty much what we have on our sheet over here. That's exactly what this is. So we've decided that we are going to just put together a quick check set in our next lesson and populate our sheets and make sure that we've got everything set up. We'll put a perspective view on here. We don't have anything rendered yet, but we'll put some text and put a logo and a sheet list, and then we'll at least put all of our views on our sheets. I think they're pretty much there. So our next exercise, getting a check set of drawings ready and printed.